Welcome to another episode of the 116 Live here on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius XM Channel 140. Listen, for real, I know we say this every week, but really shout out to everyone that's tuned in, that stays locked into the show. I was looking at one of the comments on YouTube, and one person commented saying that they tune in from Kenya every week.
Whoa.
So that's kind of like,
hey,
Kenya and every week is kind of like very impressive. So huge shout out to everyone that's tuned in. I'm one of your hosts, Mia Evans, and I'm here with the man himself. Peep the jacket, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching. Peep the jacket. Ace Harris in the building. How you feeling, Ace?
I'm doing really good, Mia. Good to be back. You know what I'm saying? Another taping. It's gonna be a good episode. It's a good day. You know what I'm saying?
It's a real good day, man.
The weather's kind of gloomy outside, but
it's
but I'm feeling real warm and real like my brain is like it's not cloudy at all. So I feel really good right now.
We're feeling good here in the studio. We have a great guest, man, who really flew in. I was gonna say pull up, but Ace corrected me. He's like, he really flew in for real. Man, he's someone who's on the rise and someone who's come up in conversation, and we had to have him here on the 116 Live. We have Dion in the building here on the 116 Live. Bro, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, man? I'm doing very well. How are y'all?
Bro, thank you so much for coming out. Like we were talking off air, and bro flew in to be able to be on the show, and we just really appreciate you coming out to chop it up with us. Talk to us, man. How is life treating you right now? Describe the season of life you're in right now.
Man, well, I mean, this season of life has been it's been a beautiful season for me. Like my daughter is due in 6 weeks. It's my first child. I'm super excited. I'm nervous, and I'm prepared to be unprepared, right? And so, like, I think this season has just taught me patience. You know, it's taught me that, what's for me is for me, and I just have to have the patience to wait for God to move on it, and not try to play God in a way and try to rush my life and rush things, but just let the presence of God just reign over my life. And so, I think with my daughter being right around the corner, that's just like amplified my patience, because it used to feel so fast, like the months were shooting by, and these last 2 months have been so slow. So I don't think that's a coincidence. I think it's the Lord, like, just kind of giving me peace in this season and ease, that everything's under control, and he has my best interests at mind.
And that's good. You said something stood out to me. You said preparing to be unprepared. Kind of dive more into that, like just from that mindset.
Yeah, I think it would be unfair to all the great parents out there for me to almost have like this cockiness, like I just got it all figured out. Like I don't have it figured out, and I'm okay to admit that I don't have it figured out. I'm okay that I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night and I'm not gonna feel like changing that pamper, but I'm gonna change it. It's like I'm somebody that I need like a clean 8-9 hours of sleep. And every time I say that, like, somebody's like, man, I've been getting 6 for the last 40 years. And I'm like, I don't see how. And they're like, that 9 hours of sleep gonna have to wither away when this child comes. And so just being prepared for, even if, I'm raising my daughter, away, and I think about, what if there comes a time where she steers off that path that we walked her down. And it's like, just what that could possibly look like, and just being prepared to say, Lord, I don't have it, but I need you to come in and I need you to make it about you, and so you can fix the situation. So when I say prepare to be unprepared, it's like prepare for me to get out the way and to let the Lord, reign in what he's going to do. So, yeah.
Man, that's good. I mean, how has it been? How are you feeling about being a girl dad?
Actually, we did a gender reveal in like Northwest Florida. And people were asking me for weeks, like, man, what do you think it is? What do you think it is? And deep down, I felt like it was a girl, because I used to have this vision as a kid that I had a little girl like run up to me, and then a boy like a year or two apart from her ran after her.
Gotcha.
I used to always have this vision. I told my wife about that vision, but I didn't want to tell people, because I wasn't trying to be prophesied. I was like, because then if it's wrong, I was prophet lying.
Prophet lying is crazy,
right? So because of that, I when we did the gender reveal and it was a girl, like I had like pink flowers behind my back. I didn't know they were pink though, so our eyes were closed, and my wife's sister, she ripped like a trash bag off of them, and they got the first reaction. My mom, her parents, etc. And when I pulled them from around my back and I seen it was pink, man, I almost started weeping immediately, because I don't know. I think that it more so felt like the Lord trusts me to be a gentle father and raise this young lady. I think it's the misconception with like fathers and sons is that you got to be super hard nosed on your sons and super gentle with your daughters. And, for me, I feel like that was the Lord showing me that he trusts me. He trusts me to be a man that she can look for in this world when she gets older. And so that was the most honoring part of all of it. And I shared that a little boy came running behind us. So if my second kid is a daughter, clip this and cut it.
Yeah, we're going to check that prophecy in about a couple of years, bro. If not, we're going to pull that prophet card right up out your, whatever you got, wherever you got to store. But talk about that. You said something about the Lord trusting you. How does that feel? Like being reminded of that, like the Lord trusting you with something that you felt like he's calling you to, man. Talk about the power of that moment, man, in general.
Yeah, I think the trust in the Lord is it just I used to struggle with feeling like God didn't trust me. Like God didn't trust me to be successful because of who I might be. God didn't trust me to be financially free because of how I might missteward those things. And so I struggled with knowing if God trusted me to have the things that I really wanted or desired in my life. And so I think now in this season that I'm in right now, I'm just seeing the Lord kind of hold my hand through it all, and almost like how a father will hold his son's hand and walk him through the play if he keeps missing the play or he keeps dropping the ball.
Right.
And he'll walk him through it. And that's how I feel. And I think to be in that place, it's just been a special experience. And it's been a weighty experience. Like it's not something that has come easy.
Right.
And like one story I used to struggle with in the Bible was Job's story. Because like I was just like, dang God, like why you got to lose all this?
Crazy on you.
It's like why you got to lose all this? And one of my mentors told me, he said he did that to Job because he knew he could trust Job to never fold on his faith. And it's like, imagine being someone that God trusts that much, where he's like, okay, Lucifer, do what you're gonna do, because that one ain't gonna fold. This one ain't gonna fold. This one is really rooted in what I've called him to be. And it doesn't matter what you do, he's going to stand firm in it. And I think once I've heard that perspective on Job's story, I was like, Lord, I want you to trust me. No matter what that looks like. And man, I'm careful saying that.
Listen, that's the dangerous prayers, boy.
I'm trying to be careful saying that, but
the storms just start popping up on you, dog.
So
everything.
So
that's good. That's good. I know there's been a lot of shifts happening for you, just music wise. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just got signed to Capitol.
I did. Yes.
Yes. Congratulations with that. What has that shift been like? That season of being accepted into the family, so on and so forth. Talk about that.
Yeah, man, it's been really welcoming. Like it was a pretty long process. I had never really walked through that process, so I didn't know that it takes several months to like move forward with everything. And then when things get to rolling, it's like it's much more strategic than I could have ever thought. It's like, hey, we got to move really calculated. And what it's done for me is that it's given me a deeper desire to care about my art that I'm putting out. So like I sent a song in so I released a song with the label, and then I sent in the next song. And when I sent it in, I just felt like, this ain't the one. I think that came from, now I'm holding myself to this level of excellence. And I remember when I think it was you and Dre or you and Biz, but y'all were doing like the reviews on live or something like that. And I remember you said that people think y'all are harsh, but you should hear the way we critique Cray and Few and all of them, because we're trying to call them to be the best version of themselves. And it's like, it's put me in a place where I'm driving to be the best version of myself. And if I don't feel comfortable sending a rough draft, it ain't the one.
Whoa.
Like, it's just because I've sent rough drafts before, and I'm like, without a thought. Like, oh, what you working on? This. And then I sent one, and I was like, I did not want to send that. And that told me everything I need to know. Like, yo, this is not the one. And so for me, that process has been it's been beautiful. And Capitol is a very polite team. They have my best interests at heart. So I'm grateful to be with them and just to explore what this is. I'm so early into everything.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
signed in April.
Oh yeah.
So like I'm so early into everything. But I think the thing that has most stuck out for me is that just the quality of what I want to put out is so much higher than what I think I would have ever pushed myself to. But that team has helped me. See
talk about I want to camp out there a little bit. That's cool. Talk about how you feeling like you were wanted to raise the quality, and did you get like a feedback once you sent the second one, like of like, man, what else you got, or was it like, did you like, how did that process go?
And no, so funny enough, I deaded it before they could even respond. Like I sit there and I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, this ain't the one. I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, this not the one. Cause it don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that what's helped me is I try to not keep yes men around me as far as my like creative circle.
Sure.
Like I need you to tell me flat out if it's trash, or I need you to tell me like, hey, you right there, but the pre-hook, it's not driving it home. Or it's like, oh, your tone is flat and you're not giving it to me, you know? And so having those people around me has really helped me. And, you know, some like Wes Ryder, you know, he's in my corner, Quentin Koblenz, and Scooty. Like me and Scooty were college roommates.
Oh, crazy.
Like, me and Scooty went to college together.
Wow,
I know
small
Scooty.
world.
I was his best man at his wedding. It's me and Scooty are close, and he wanted a yes man. I mean, he wanted people that's not a yes man.
He's a no man.
He's a no man. He's a no, because I'll send him something, and he like, brother, this ain't it. And I'm like, no, I respect it. I respect it because it drives me, and he'll send me stuff, and I'm like, this ain't it, bro. This ain't it, chief. You know, and you never know. I seen the last podcast with Paris where he told RG, God Made a Way wasn't it, and it's like I think in that regard, it comes to a gut thing.
Sure.
Like if you like, in some scenarios, it comes to a gut thing. But I'm a firm believer, like, if you have a team around you, trust your team. If you don't want to trust your team, don't have a team. Like,
if you don't want to trust your team,
don't have one. Yeah.
Boy, you said a lot right there.
Yeah, no, I mean it. Like, my wife knows, like, I trust my team. And if I didn't trust my team, then I wouldn't have one. Just do it on my own.
And I saw you said something about, which I thought was really key when you got signed, was that you wanted to, you kind of had to wrestle with yourself of just where you wanted your career to go. And then when you you kind of did like a surrender to God about like where you wanted your career to go, so on and so forth. And then the opportunity came. I just wanted you to dive into that just a little bit about what that journey looked like for you of just kind of putting something you love to the side in hopes of just trusting God with where he wanted you. And then now seeing where you are with making the deal with Capitol and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I fell into a season, right, where I started to just lose my identity altogether. You know, I started to lose, you know, why I was even making music, what I was doing it for. It's like, man, if it's not doing what I think it should be doing, should I be doing it? I think that's just a lie from the enemy. You know, it's simple and plain. And I think what shifted for me is I had a talk with some of my close friends and my wife, and I was like, I want to make music that is vertical to God, right? And so I thought about how Craig has done that, and Hobie does it, you know, and Social Club has done it, and like these other artists have done it to where like these songs aren't about, you know, like some songs are good to be just about what Christians experience, right? The Christian experience, Christian lifestyle, what you do, how you do whatever. But for me, I just want to say, you know, Lord, I want to challenge myself to, you know, make music that is to you, not just about you for people to have, but to you, so that when people sing it, whether they know or not, they're in a form of worship while doing it.
That's great.
And so when I shifted from that, I felt like man, I almost felt like the Lord blessed it, because I was like, Lord, I don't want to just make Christian music just because I'm Christian. I want to make music that is worship unto you. And it's like, I can't make it up, I guess. Like,
no, that's so dope, man. Just kind of knowing, I think there's room for both, but I think knowing what you find the most peace in as an artist is helpful, so that you don't get too swayed by what's going on to the left or to the right, and kind of staying head up with the music that you're making. I think that's really purposeful, man. But when we come back, we're going to dive into more of your story, how you got here, you know what I'm saying? I know you from Atlanta, Georgia, Gwinnett or something like that. Okay, so we got a lot of commonalities, man. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 140. We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back, y'all. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius XM Channel 140. I'm one of your hosts, Ace Harris, here with the amazing Mia Evans, talking with Dion, artist, husband, you know, soon to be father, and also, we talking. He mentioned, I didn't know today, he's actually an actual youth pastor. We'll get into that later, but talk about young Dion. Like, what was your life like growing up as a child? How did you get into music? How did you find the Lord? Give us the whole like backstory, man. I want to have the listeners kind of dive into that.
Yeah. So originally I was born in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
right? But I primarily grew up in Gwinnett County.
Okay.
And so my mom, she felt it was best for us to move down to Georgia. Detroit is a tough city. It's a rough city. And I tell her all the time I'm grateful for her making that move down because it gave us a better life in a different reality than what we would have grown up in. When it comes to my relationship with Christ early on, we started going to church heavily when I was around 9 years old.
In Atlanta?
Or in Atlanta.
And in Gwinnett specifically?
Yeah,
Gwinnett County.
In Gwinnett County. In Lawrenceville.
Lawrenceville. Oh, yeah. You really north side, bro.
Yeah, in Lawrenceville. In Lawrenceville. So we started going to church real seriously. Through that time, I don't know. I just felt different. I felt like I was naturally just taking it more serious than a lot of other youth would. Right. Like we went on a trip, and I remember, I don't even know why I did this. I just opened the Bible, laid it on my bed. We were going to Myrtle Beach for like a Thanksgiving trip, which is crazy going to the beach in the fall. but yeah,
water be cold, bro.
Yeah. No. But so I just opened the Bible, and I remember this. I opened it and I just laid it on my bed. I don't know what scripture I flipped to. I just opened it. I don't even know what I was doing, and I was so young. But I think I just thought something would happen. Like God's gonna do something. I just opened the Bible, put it on my bed. Like I don't know what this means. Like I'm a kid, but something just prompted me to do that, and I still don't know why I did that. But I don't think it was for no reason, right? And so when we were growing up in church, my mom is an ordained minister. She was leader, actually. She was over the dance ministry. So like the praise dance, I mimed in the church.
Oh, you was the
I mimed in the church, yes.
Oh,
I had the white face paint in the gloves, and I was on that mug. Make me over again,
I was going crazy with that.
Pull up the clips, y'all.
I know.
My mom got the clips. Don't follow my mom on Facebook.
I know your last name now, so we're gonna look up.
Oh my goodness! Luckily, her last name is not my last name. So good luck.
We're gonna find it.
We gotta find it.
Yeah, but I grew up dancing in the church, and through that, we were up at the church a lot. And since my mom is a minister, we was there, and I'm talking about this is black church. So we there at 6:30 in the morning. We go home. We don't go home. We go to Golden Corral at 2:30.
Golden Corral.
We go to Golden Corral at 2:30. We chill for a couple hours. We come back for second service at 6. And on Fridays is a revival. So I mean, it's a coin toss if you can go to that football game or you go to a revival. And I look back on it now and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that my mom cared enough about me to make sure I was in that place. Like I think it's okay as a parent to give your kids choice on some things, but for me personally, I'm glad my mom wasn't giving me a choice.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you want to come to church today or not? It's like, no, hey, get dressed, we're going to church. And I appreciate it now. And I'm like, okay, I see what you were doing. Like you were caring about my eternity when I didn't understand what eternity was. So my walk with Christ, man, I really give it to my mom. And I tell her all the time, like, had she not been in our corner fighting for our lives, we would have lost the battle. So. And
you mentioned your mother a lot. I don't know if it's too personal. Was there a dad around at the time, or talk about that part?
Yeah. So my dad is in my life. My dad lives in Detroit still. Okay. So most of my family's still in Detroit. Gotcha. Only my mom's identical twin. So they glued to the hip. They both in Georgia. Right? Okay. So they go to the hip, and so it's really just them, my two sisters, and then a few cousins.
Okay.
But most of my cousins, aunts, uncles, they're all in Detroit still. So my dad, he tried to be as active as he could.
Yeah.
And I appreciate him. Detroit is just where it was just his home. It's where he set up home base.
For sure.
But he traveled down to Georgia a bunch. We would go to Detroit every summer, like right when school let out.
Mom was like, y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta get out of this house.
Our flight was on the schedule for like the day after we got out of school.
She had them tickets ready, bro. Pre-order, bro. 2 months in advance. Y'all was flying Value Jet over Jet Blue?
No, man, funny enough, we was on a buddy pass. My mom had to hook up.
Bro, y'all was flying clean.
We was flying for free.
Oh, man.
So it's pretty much like if somebody missed their flight, you on his waiting list to get on.
Yeah.
Man, we was flying that buddy pass every year. And I was like, hey, Mom, look, my mom know how to budget. I'll tell you that. Yeah. She got friends in all different businesses.
So when you were in those church services as a young kid, you said the Lord was doing something in your heart. Was there a moment ever, I feel like faith, Christianity, and like middle school era, it's just an interesting mix. You get to high school era, it's even more complicated. Was there a moment where you were like, man, I don't know about this life? Like, talk about that experience as a young man, being in church and
not knowing about the Christian walk.
Yeah.
No, man,
You
there was a time.
Okay, go
no,
ahead.
No.
Like, bro,
there was a time.
So,
my mom said. So my mom was baptized while I was in her stomach.
Oh.
So she kind of sees that as like I was like a little more covered, like than the regular person. I don't know if that's true. But,
you was in the womb, but in the water.
Yeah, but she just feels like her transformation did something to me. When I was in her stomach. And so like there was a time when I was 17 and like 2017 was super, super rough. My grandfather passed away. My grandfather got hit by a car crossing the street. So he was healthy. He was a black belt in like 5 different things. Like he was the grandpa that like you see him coming, bruh, it's like, yo, move, bro. That's Dion Papa. You know, like don't bother him. Like he was a nice guy, but if he felt any sense of danger, he was not playing. He had nunchucks in his back pocket. He wasn't playing. Papa was like that, right? So that year was really rough. And man, I've never ever shared this publicly, right? But it was rough because I played basketball in high school, and coach was just killing us. Like we at Stone Mountain, sprinting up the mountain, like getting timed. Coach like, if you ain't under this time, you doing it again. So we just beat, and we got 5 a.m. practice before school. We got practice after school. Then we got cardio after practice. So I was just beat, and my grandpa's birthday is in January, and I didn't go to his birthday gathering because I was so tired. And the next month, he passed away. That was weighing on me so heavy because I'm like, I didn't get a chance to see my grandfather's last birthday because I was tired. That's why I can't, like, that's why I'm in a place now in my life where being tired for me can't be an excuse. That's just for me though. You know, I'm not mad at anyone that says they're tired. You tired, right? But like, for me, that just can't be the excuse because I feel like, you know, you could blink and you can miss it. And I don't mean you gotta, you know, have FOMO, but like, that just meant something to me. My grandpa was like, there. Yeah, like we was on the news and everything. Like they came to the house and had us on the news channel. Like it was a big deal that he got, you know, hit by the car. But then further into that year, 6 other people passed away. I had 3 friends that died in a car accident together same night. I had a friend's father that I would consider an uncle. They just found him dead in the bathroom. Like I had a friend die of cancer. Like this all in the same calendar year. So by the time we at the end of the year, I'm just like, is there a God or not? Like, this is ridiculous. And I'm working at UPS while going to high school. So I'm in there like just mad. And I remember I had my headphones on and I would play that little Suicide Hotline song by Logic. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, but I was like saying it over myself. Like, you know, this part is like, I just want to die today. I was saying that so much. And it's like one day I just woke up like, bro, you saying this over yourself and you need to chill. And so one of my mentors, his name is Vance Smith. He's the young adult pastor at Victory.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, Vance was my mentor all through high school. And it's like, he had just texted me one day and said, man, like, let's go to Waffle House. I go to Waffle House. He's like, where are you? Like, not like, where have you been physically? Where are you in here? And it's like, I'm grateful that he would come up to me because it just, you know, it helped me realize that, man, I'm down for the count and I got to get back up and keep fighting.
Right. Shout out some real ones in your corner. That can kind of pull you out of those, and that's really transparent of you. Because I mean, on one end, I'm hearing your story. I'm like, yo, church kid, mom's a minister, in church every Sunday, every Friday, and very much a very Christian walk. And I think it's good for people to see the humanity in your walk of being like, man, it's 2017. I'm in high school and I don't even know what this guy we on. Like, what's this about? I think I think in his infinite wisdom and sovereign nature, he just allows for suffering, and it don't feel good. It doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't.
But I wonder if you would be the same Dion had you not went through those experiences today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely not.
Yeah. Definitely.
When it comes to music, how did that kind of come back into your life? Like when you were kind of dealing with grieving and even like, you know, dealing with those thoughts, did music come in as a safe space or did it come after the fact? Like talk about the role music kind of had during that time.
Yeah. So, I mean, I always been like this musical kid. I always been singing karaoke and I was in choir and all these other things. And I actually didn't start writing and recording until about 18. So that following year, and I think I just needed a way to express it all. And literally Scooty, like he was making music already at the time. And it's like, I just heard kind of what he was doing and we was friends. I was like, man, like I want to do this. And man, I kid you not. I'm not just saying this because we at Reach. I kid you not. Like Trip Lee. And I told him this, he probably don't even remember this. I told him this years ago at AC3 2019. I told him to his face, I was like, I'm not trying to waste your time. I'm not trying to be like fangirl, you know all that. It's like, brother, you saved my life. Like in that season, I was listening. I'm listening to old Trip like his new Trip. And I'm just like, whoa. So it wasn't even like what I could express on paper. It's like Sweet Victory. I mean, everybody loved it. I know, right? It's like the cliche, like, yo, that's one of the best songs ever.
No, Rise is a classic. Rise is
for sure.
Classic.
But you know, I'm listening to Take Me There with Jimmy Needham. Them is old records, and I'm like, they speaking to me like they know. I'm showing my friends on the basketball team, like, yo, ain't this hot, bro? This lit, ain't it? You know? And so just in that season, that really helped me. And then he dropped that mixtape, and Billion Years was on it. And I remember being in the weight room during weight training and just start crying listening to that.
Wow.
Like I spun the tape because I saw it drop, and I heard that in my ears, and I just like, whew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a billion years ahead, this world could be nothing. And I'm just like sitting here just stuck. It's like, Dion, get back up. And so that just spoke to me. So it wasn't even what I could put onto paper. It was, you know, music that influenced me.
That's so dope, man, that you was able to, like, it seemed like your love for music came as a way to process the pain you were dealing with. And did you know at that time it would be a career, or was it more like therapeutic and spirit led? You know what I'm saying? When did it turn into actual commerce and like making a career out of it?
I would say in 2020, I started to feel like I could really do it.
Okay.
I started to feel like I could do this.
Well, what was the moment that made you feel like that?
So funny enough, I've been in like a bunch of music videos, and people don't even know this. I met you at Aaron's. Take me, There For Me.
There For Me.
Yeah, I've been in Aaron's, KB's, Cannon's. Like I was in RG's first video at Reach. I was in Westside.
Oh wow.
So it's like,
you like the most like where's Dion?
Yeah. So you know, I've been in all these music videos and just kind of been around it, and you know, I think just being around the music space and being able to see how possible it is if I just apply myself. I think being prayed up and everything, 100%. You know, being Christian, 100%. Get better at your craft. It's like, and when I saw it, because I remember RG when he had 4,000 monthly listeners. I remember his progression, and it's like, okay, it's as much as it is like, man, I'm doing this for God, and I love the Lord, and I raise my hands in worship. I got to put my best foot forward in what I'm doing. And when I saw like, man, if you work hard, you actually care about what you're putting out, you can make it. And so 2021, I felt like I really caught stride to where then I was doing music full time at that point, you know, and traveling. And I went on a tour, like pretty much alone, and did 12 dates. And it was just a beautiful experience. And I met so many new people and new faces. So that really helped me out.
It's phenomenal.
Man, listen, when we come back, there's so many other parts of your life to, I guess, even to today's point. We got to dive into the youth pastor life and what that's like. So don't go anywhere. It's the 116 Live here on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius XM Channel 140. We'll be right back. And we're back here on the 116 Live here on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius XM Channel 140. Ace Harris, Mia Evans checking in with Dion, who's in the building. Okay, so we were talking off air about all the I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I had my CHH video days back in the day. I was popping up in all music videos. Like I was telling Ace and Dion off air, like Weatherman, Aha did that video and a couple other videos back then. But also I realized I don't know, I'm mad observant. So that's the only reason why I'm asking this question. But you seem like someone who cares a lot about the genre and the space. Every time I'm on social media, I always see you in the comment section, whether it's giving your 2 cents or encouraging or supporting. Like, but that's a great thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, a lot of times people think that you just have to be with said artists to really be locked in and things like that, or be at the shows, or even be in the music videos, when really it's just even showing love from afar and having a take on a situation or something that's going on in the space. Just talk about how you've been involved, like your involvement, and how you like to support and be there for not even just like, you have friends like Scooty and other artists who are plugged in, but even just the genre as a whole.
Yeah, I think that I am a serial commenter. I've had to pull back. Like, not so much with the CHH, but I just comment, period. And I've typed up paragraphs on something I seen online. I'm like, this is a waste of time. I'm taking it off. But as far as CHH goes, I think that I just love the space. Like, I love that people choose to express their love for Christ through music. I think it's super dope. And I think that if I can just add to their algorithm to possibly help them reach more people, like it takes 2 seconds of my time. Like, it takes no time, really. And just even just like when someone drops an album, most of the time I'll just put it on my story. And most of the time I don't even tag them. I just put it up there because I don't need you to repost it. Like, I'm not trying to get the repost. I don't care about that. I just want to share the music with people so they can know, that there's music out there that can feed your soul and not feed the things that God calls bad, that's going on in your life. So for me, I try to stay connected because I'm the type of person you got to tell me no. You got to tell me no, because I'm gonna keep coming. If you leave gray area,
I can sense that.
Listen, I'm that person. Like, if you say, "Oh yeah, bro, let's work, man," yeah, man, let me finish the album. Oh, trust me, when you finish the album, I'm coming back. I'm spinning the block when you're done with the album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and it's not like, I'm trying to annoy anybody, right? But it's more so of, I believe in the scripture that says, you don't have because you don't ask. And, if it's a situation going on or something like that, to where things have to be on a pause or anything like that, I'm totally cool with that. But if it's a no, I would respect your no. But I need no. And I seen it was an artist that worked with Chris Brown, and he said something similar. He's like, how you get a record with Chris Brown? He's like, you gotta tell me no. He's like, I've been writing for Chris Brown for years, and I try to pitch him records. He's like, oh, you're just not big enough, bro. Like, I don't want to make your career on this record. Like, I want you to get a little bigger so it don't feel like I made your career with this song. And he was like, look, he was never saying no. He was saying, oh, well, we gotta do this, then we gotta do this, then we gotta do this. And it's like, like I have my next record is with KB. And it's like, look, there was no involved. So I just kept knocking. And it's like, I ain't saying don't be DMing KB annoying them. Don't be doing. I ain't saying that, but yeah.
You seem like pretty persistent. How have you responded, like, when it was like no's? Did you, like, especially being an artist who's supporting everybody else? Have there been times where it was like, man, bro just didn't, it was like a flat out no? Like, how did that feel? If those moments ever came? Yeah,
I think like a lot of people that come into the Christian rap space, a lot of us, I don't want to say all of us, but a lot of us have this preconceived idea that because we're Christian, that we have to work with each other. And I kind of felt the same in the very beginning stages. Like, oh man, man, we believers, bro. Like, work with me, bro. But then over time, I think it's just maturity, really. Like, I just grew out of it. And it's like, they don't owe me anything.
Right.
They don't owe me a response, a comment, a collab, a feature. They don't owe it to me. And not only that, but if it's the Lord's will, it will come to me. And
let's talk about it.
Yeah, and that's all. That's really all I can say about it. Is if it's the Lord's will, it'll come.
What is the mindset that you think drives Christian hip hop artists, especially early on, to have this expectation that because we have a common faith, then we have there's a common expectation that we're gonna like collab together. What is it about this space that puts that perception on people's, especially younger artists' mind or newer artists?
I think, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but I think it's church culture.
Okay.
Because if you go to a church and you see a small group you like, you can get in it. You know what I'm saying? You go to church, you see a conference that you like, you can get in it. You can sign up for it, you can do this. You see a place that you want to serve, you can do it. Like, ain't nobody like, giving you the hand. Like, no, you can't serve God's kingdom. So like, I think because we're built into that culture of our faith, it's like when you come into Christian rap, you low-key take the fact that this is music out and you just see it as, oh, this is like another Christian thing. So if I want to be a part of it, I can just jump in. And it should be that easy. It's like, this is not the church though. It's like, yeah, the church, yeah, you can get in a small group, you can get into these different type of things and different type of serving opportunities. But when it comes to music, I think the biggest thing is relationship. Like, I think the best music is made when two people have an idea together or have a relationship or some sort of, pre-relationship that can drive organic chemistry between the two.
That's great.
Yeah, I want to speak into that only because I literally was talking to someone about this yesterday, about how you said something about maturing with being in the genre. And I think maturing is realizing that it's not about music, and it's not, I mean, it is about music, but the fact that it's not about trying to put on and be featured,
right,
and have this interview and be followed by this person. Like, it's about community. Like, we are here, like that. I feel like that's an added plus, but it's about us being able to build genuine relationships with each other.
Yeah.
Not genuine. So like, if you meet dude and like y'all, like, how you can, like, you meet somebody and it's kind of like, oh, you don't feel a genuine connection with them. Okay, well, on to the next one. Don't try to be with that person or get to know them just because of who they are or what you feel like they can do. But it's really about us just being genuinely connected to one another, finding those genuine relationships. What has that been like for you, building those genuine relationships within the spaces you've been plugged in?
Man, I think I just seen, let me not say a lot. I've seen some people in the space that do that, like want to be in the room to potentially get something from someone or to get this, that, or the third. And I think for me and my personality, it's like, it's okay with me if we never work together. Like, it's okay with me because at the end of the day, like, it's not about, I think people don't realize that there's pride in that. Like, there's pride, like, yeah, you want to work with this person because you know it's going to catapult your career, and maybe it's not happening because the Lord knows who you might be, says your career catapults into this area. And it's like, I think that, I think God is the ultimate judge, and God knows what we need. He knows what will elevate us that destroys us, and what will elevate us for his kingdom. And so I think I don't have the expectation for anybody to try to help me or something.
Because I think, to piggyback off of that before we switch gears, there was a comment made, I forget the artist, about gatekeeping and CHH. It was like a big thing, and I don't want to like discredit what was said, but I think it is important to talk about what that could feel like and what is a way to kind of like ground that conversation about whether there's like gatekeeping, or is it sometimes people have a genuine connection with certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, talk about distinguishing genuine connections versus intentional like gatekeeping and keeping people out.
Yeah, I think people have I think in Christian rap, we have this weird view of gatekeeping. And it's like, it's almost like if you see a group of friends and they're close friends and they're also successful artists, it's like they're close friends first though. Like RG and John and all of them been friends for years. They friends first though. And it's like, you're trying to get into their CHH bubble and that's what you call it, but it's really just their organic friendship, and they're just all successful musicians, and that's okay. And so I think that it's not so much of, I don't think it's so much of gatekeeping in CHH to where like, oh, you got the control to help me here, and you just don't want to help because you afraid I might do it better or something like that. I just don't think that's the case. I've seen people small and large, scale this industry, and it's not so much about gatekeeping. More so it's about, for me, I want to obtain the knowledge as much as I can. And if I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm talking about, I know the industry that I'm in, then I think I can be successful. I don't need someone to give me the sauce when I have the internet and YouTube and all these other platforms that can help me understand what I need to be doing.
Yeah. I think that's so good. And I know we could talk about your record Cry Out, but I also think this is important segue, because you sound like somebody who's very mature, grounded. And now that when you told me on the break that you're an actual youth pastor, it makes so much sense now. Because I'm like, yo, this guy just seemed very sensible. Talk about, and we're going to talk about Cry Out in a little bit, but talk about just your journey as, like, tell people like you're an actual youth pastor in a community of believers. Yeah, talk about that. I think that's really important.
Yeah, so I'm a youth pastor at a faith-based community center in Southwest Florida called Crossover Community Center. It's for 6th to 12th grade youth, and it's pretty much for kids that you can have a church home, but some of the kids that come, they don't have parents that go to church. So this is a place that they can go that their parents aren't conveniently going. So you go to youth and you're able to still have community. And so in this season of life where I've been able to step into being a youth pastor, it's just elevated my study time with the Lord. It's like the time that you already have with God, the quiet time that you already have with God, it is like times 10, because when you're teaching the gospel, one, the Bible says that the teachers will be judged harder. So I'm like, my theology need to be on point, because like now I'm scared, but also it creates a good dynamic for me and my wife, because as I dig deeper into scripture to where I can break it down for youth, it helps me see God's character much, much bigger than I could have ever expected. And I think one of the scariest things for me is living and dying, and I didn't truly know the character of God. But I put God in this box that, oh man, he wouldn't do this, and he wouldn't allow me to struggle. He wouldn't do, and it's like, I need to know the character of God. I need to truly know what the scripture says about how God moves amongst us and how he's made us in his image and likeness, so that I can be a voice to the next generation.
That's fire.
How you feel like I love this, because my brother-in-law's a youth pastor.
He is in Stockbridge. Shout out to him.
And I'm curious to how you being a youth pastor, because being an artist is one thing and being a youth pastor, I feel like it's another. So how has that molded you? Just honestly, as an individual, how you deal with people, how you as a believer, like I'm just curious about how that being in that role has molded you as a man.
Yeah, I think that I understand grace to a much greater degree ever. Like when I was in college, in ministry college, I was one of the kids that was just like, I had no grace for it. It's like, bro, right from wrong, bro, you just doing wrong. I got no grace for you, and as I've gotten older and stepped into this role, it's allowed me to be around people that are in desperate need of things. And it's almost like I can see them bottle it up now. It's like I have that sensitivity to where, I'll walk up to them and I'm like, hey, you good? Like, no. I was like, yeah, you haven't been good for weeks. I can see it on you. I don't think that's me, but I think that that's something that the Holy Spirit has done in my life through my surrenderance, through being a youth pastor. And so it's just helped me understand, like, it doesn't matter how much scripture I know. It doesn't matter how close I am to God. I still need God X amount of times every single day, just like everybody. It allows me to see everyone just even,
Yeah, you sound so grounded. And I think that even transpires, of course, with you as an individual, but then also musically, even in songs like Cry Out that are out. Hard. And I can only imagine what the songs that will be coming out. Because I know you said that your things are still fresh when it comes to being with Capital, but the music, I just feel like there's just so much that's people will be able to pull from, just even with you being a youth pastor and being involved in youth, being involved in the CHH space. When people hear your music, when they hear songs like Cry Out and all the things that you have coming up, what is it that you want for them to grasp the most when they hear that your music as a whole?
Yeah. What I want them to hear, I think a common thing for me is just the dire need to be in relationship with God. I want people to hear the music and know that they're not alone in what they're feeling and what they're going through. And not only that they're not alone, but there's a real God that knows our real problems. And I put it like this: we are the creation, and then when we're broken and in need of a fix, we don't think to go to the creator. And it's like, if you have a Ford and only Ford makes this part and it's messed up, you got to go to who created that thing in order to get the proper fix that you need. And I think we go to so many different things, and sometimes it could be innocent. We go to our moms and our dads and our sisters and brothers. And I want people to know that the best decision you can make for your life is to go to God in everything that you face, everything that you do. And so if they hear my music, that's what I want them to experience.
That just can't be said enough.
Yeah.
Just if people don't hear anything else on this show and this amazing platform that we have, is that God is our only hope, y'all.
Yeah.
No matter what could happen, no matter your successes, your failures, your ups, your downs, your music, your this, your that, your family, God is our only hope. And I pray that everybody, especially the CHH community specifically, just behold that, to know that God is our only hope. He's our refuge. He's our validation. He's our affirmation. He's everything. And we can place our faith and our trust and our sorrows and pains in that. I just pray that, it will just give us a fresh new eyes for life and ministry and music. So yeah, it was really good having you here, man. Anything else you want to say, man, for the people before we dip out, man?
To my wife, I love you.
There you go. Brownie points.
To Abigail Richardson, I love you.
I love that.
And my daughter, Eliana Richardson, due November 3rd. Who knows when she comes, though? She could come November 1st.
Yeah. Man, listen.
Who knows,
you never know
bro.
these days.
You know, right?
The last little bit of it. Give everyone your social media so they can be able to keep up with you.
Yes. So my social media is the same across the board. It is at Way of Dion.
So make sure you guys are following Dion on all social media. And shout out to everyone that was tuning in for another great episode this week, man. We appreciate you guys always locked in with us. Shout out to Ace. Shout out to Matt for holding us down behind the scenes. And shout out to Dion for being our special guest this week. This is the 116 Life signing off for another good episode. We'll see you guys next week.
Appreciate y'all.